I've got some wisdom to share from the inner minds and outer minds of us women who talk at the club, and not just women. There's men too. But I'm just gonna be really real with you guys. There is one big turnoff that is unintentional by some people at a club, and some of us are really sensitive to scent, SCENT. So whether it's cologne, whether it's perfume, whether it's body spray, or even like a really strong deodorant, it can be too much for us to be able to be close to somebody like that. So I have to give this warning because I did meet a funny and interesting man, and I was commenting about how strong the cologne was. And he's like, "Oh God, is it me?" And I felt bad for a second. I was like, and then he held it, and I smelled, and I was like, "Yeah, it is. Sorry." And he was like, "Oh, really?" And he was like, "No idea." And I was like, "Look," I said, "I could never give you a blowjob if you smell like that." I ended up having a headache when I went home that night, and I couldn't go to Oasis because I had a headache because I was exposed to too much scent. So the point of this is, sometimes you think adding a little bit of something extra can add value, and when in fact it decreases value for you. And I think sometimes when the saying is less is more, sometimes none is better than less. Like better than like a little, you know? I think let's just leave it at home. People like freshly clean people, maybe just come out of the shower, maybe a nice deodorant that you're already familiar with, nothing too scented. I've got to say, I've heard from many women. Also, the smell of body odor is not pleasant. No one wants to, well, they're sucking dick, man. So you've got to keep that shit up to par, or no one is going to want to go down there. There are actually people who show up at a sex club smelling like body odor, and even I don't have the heart to tell them. So people just don't fuck them, is the point. So I hope that you've learned from this. I hope that before you go to a sex club or even a nightclub, you rethink how much fragrance you use, if any, because it can really be the unfortunate deal breaker for your potential partners. Like if I actually showed up to a hotel room and they had sprayed air fresheners or had like I might not be able to stay. Like it really is an issue. So I think that, why take a chance? That's my thought on that.
I understand where you're coming from. Like, the scent can be a deal breaker, and I just feel like a little, but you say it tips you off, right?
Tips me off. What does that mean?
Like, when you smell anything, it just, that puts you in a
It's not like
place.
I'm not that sensitive that I can't handle one spray of something, but I still might not enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to tolerate it, but it would be at the cost of like almost metaphysically like holding my breath. There's a pain that happens and it starts on the outside of my brain and it goes to the top, and it's when the scent is so strong that suddenly sight is too like bright is too bright. It's like I
Yeah.
get a migraine.
Okay.
So the scent being too strong can almost trigger a migraine for me. And that's why a guy who wears Axe cologne or whatever it is that he thinks is going to help him get laid, I would not only pass, I wouldn't even be able to socialize with them.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes just less is more, you know?
Yeah. Now, but a lot of those guys you're talking about, they have the body odor thing, and sometimes they wear those things to cover up the body odor. I mean, what do you do about that if you've got a really ranky smell that goes with that kind
Yeah.
of thing? What do you do? You're doomed if you do, and you're damned if you
I just think
don't.
there's a lot more times that you can have a shower. I think that there's some, like, I shower sometimes a few times a day because if I am getting up to go do my day, I'll shower, body shower, whatever. Then when I am getting ready for a date, I always wash. I literally every single time before I'm having sex, I wash my vagina and my ass within the 5 minute span before those guests arrive. It is the cleanest it will ever be because you make a point of it. I don't just hope my 9 a.m. shower holds out at 5 p.m. when I open my legs for them. I do it again. I clean again. And I just think that that's what you should do is if you're going to go to a sex club, you shower right before you go. And you soap, you know?
Okay. And then there's pheromones. What does somebody do? Like, I had an encounter with somebody. I really liked them, and they were really cute, and we started making out, and she got all excited, and I went to her neck, and I could just take it in a smell, and it was just a... She wasn't sweating, she wasn't body odor, it was her pheromones. It was the chemical coming off her body, and it almost made me want to yak.
Really?
It was awful. I couldn't sleep with her because of it.
So this is a real thing. So my sister, of all people, had this happen with a man, is that she didn't like the smell of him, even though they were dating. And you can't get past that if
Yeah.
you don't like the smell of somebody. You just can't get past that.
Yeah.
I really do feel that way. So it's something that if you have to be attracted to someone's scent on another level. I remember some men, they would come and we would, like, well, I used to have deep crushes on guys. I call them boys, but I call them boys affectionately. Um, and I used to smell their shirt if I got a hold of their jersey or something. Like, I would just be like, what does he smell like? And like take it in, you know. So smell can be a big thing, natural smell, but natural good smell, clean smell. Sometimes no smell. That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it?